Welcome back for another video, guys. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to bypass the Leviathan cooldown, and this is just, I believe, a little bit of a theory. However, ever since a couple of days ago where I made the video on the cooldown of the Leviathan, I realized a couple of things, and I realized that the Leviathan's cooldown may not actually be tied to time, and it may actually be tied into something else. So, the Leviathan, the cooldown for the bribing will start every time you kill the Leviathan one time. So, if you kill the Leviathan once, the cooldown for the spy will start and you cannot bribe it anymore. However, if you can get someone else to bribe, then the cooldown will reset. However, I believe there's a way that you could sort of bypass this bribing cooldown, and this is through sea events. I believe that, for example, that's why, for example, if you log off and then you come back like 10 hours later, the cooldown is still there. I believe the reason for that is because the cooldown is actually not based on time, and it's based on the sea events that you do. So I believe that every sea event you do, the cooldown gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and then after some certain sea events, you will be able to bypass, or the cooldown for the Leviathan will be resetted. Now, the reason why I think this is the case is because a lot of people have been commenting, or some people that I've talked to have told me that the cooldown for Leviathan for them was tied to sea events. So I tested this out and I realized that every time I play the game and I don't do sea events, the cooldown is very, very long. But once I start doing sea events, the cooldown gets shorter and shorter and shorter. So I've figured out that the cooldown for the bribing is actually tied to sea events, and if you do a lot of sea events, the cooldown will reset. And I believe this is in order to encourage people to not just, spam hunt Leviathan. And this is a really great way to encourage people to, also hunt for materials, which is very important. So yeah, that's gonna be how you can bypass the Leviathan cooldown. Now, just a word of warning, I may be wrong because there really is no information on the cooldown by the developers. They haven't really given us any information on the cooldown. So we really don't know if the cooldown is based on time or if it's based on something else. However, based on theories and based on my testing, I believe the cooldown is probably based on sea events. And the more sea events you do, the shorter the cooldown for bribing will be, and the more Leviathans you can find. And in the next video, I'm actually going to talk about the shadow nerf on the Leviathan's rates, because I found Leviathan a couple of times a few days ago, but now I can't even find one Leviathan. And I do believe that they kind of shadow nerf the Leviathan's rates, and I'm gonna talk about that in a different video. And I'm also gonna start a poll on YouTube to ask you guys if Leviathan got harder to find. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'm also probably gonna be streaming later today, so I'll see you guys in those streams. Peace out, everybody.